every week you are losing at least 15 to 20 hours sorting through your inbox, prepping for calls, pulling reports, and organizing information that simply does not require a human in 2026. As a matter of fact, Claude Cowork can now automate all of it. The best part is it requires zero code and maybe an hour max of setup. I actually built a system that handles all of this for me automatically every single morning. And in this video, I'm going to show you what that output looks like. So I am going to build that system live from scratch. No code, no developers, no tools, just a chat window. Then I'm going to show you how people are charging businesses anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000 to set up systems exactly like this because they are that valuable. So whether you want to get your own time back for your business, turn this into a service you sell, this is the video for you. If you've ever tried to automate something in your business, you've probably used tools like Zapier, Make, maybe N8N, and these are great for simple automations. You can say, if this happens, do that. It's very straightforward. But the second your workflow gets even a little bit complex, that's when things start breaking. So maybe an email comes in with the format you did not expect. A field is empty where it shouldn't be. A file is in the wrong format, and the whole thing just stops. It sits there broken, waiting for you to come in and fix it manually. I would know, I've done this a million times. I deal with this every single day. And the frustrating part is you end up spending almost as much time babysitting your automations as you would have spent on just doing the work yourself. And so that's the ceiling of traditional automation. It can only handle what you explicitly told it to handle. Everything else is basically a dead end. Where agentic workflows are fundamentally different. Instead of mapping out every single possible path in advance, you describe the outcome you want and the agent figures out how to get there. When it hits something unexpected, it doesn't just stop or break, it adapts. It tries a different approach, and if it finds a problem, it can fix its own process so that that issue never happens again. But here's the key thing. That adaptability happens while you are building and testing the system. Once it is battle tested and scheduled, it can run predictably, like a traditional automation, but one where every edge case has already been solved by the agent during the setup. And this is the big difference. Up until now, building these required Claude Code, which is a command line tool, incredible for developers, but if you're not comfortable in a terminal, it's basically a non-starter. Claude Cowork is the exact same engine, same power. The difference is it runs in a chat window on your desktop. So there is no terminal, there's no code. You can connect it to your Gmail with a click, connect it to your calendar, your Slack, and you're off to building. It's literally as simple as that. Okay, so here we are in Claude Cowork. If you're not familiar, the interface is very similar to how regular Claude is. At the top, you'll see you have your chat sidebar. That's just typical Claude. On the right, you have code. We're not going to worry about that for this specific video. But the cool thing about Cowork is that, like I was explaining, you can set up automated tasks, you can run tasks live. It really is adjustable to whatever your workflow is and whatever you need. So let's go ahead and break down some of the really core things you need to do before you actually get started. So you're going to go to settings, and ideally you would want to create a work function and just give it more info about yourself. Now at this point, Claude knows so much about me that I didn't want to give it additional context because there just really wasn't necessary. But if you're just starting out, I highly recommend you pasting something in the system prompt. By the way, little pro tip here. If you get tired of M dashes in your LLM output, you can put this in any system prompt, whether it's ChatGPT, Claude, any of them, and it will stop producing M dashes. Nice little trick there that I bet you weren't expecting in this video. So with that being said, I really want to talk about the connectors. There are so many cool connectors inside of Claude, and with Cowork, you can tap into these, you can take actions inside of them. I mean, there's quite literally hundreds. The ones that I have, Gmail, Notion, Figma, Slack, I have a lot more actually. Granola is a big one that I use a lot, but I mean, depending on your use cases, there's no shortage of work that you can do here. The big ones for me are Gmail, Slack, and Granola. Granola records my calls and the transcripts, if you weren't familiar. And so one thing that I can do is I can go into Cowork and I can say, hey, search all of my Slack messages with this company or this person, search my calls with this person or this company from the last 2 weeks, and also search all of our email threads. What do I have on my to-do list? This has been a lifesaver for me. I mean, it's tremendously helpful. But what I really want to focus on in this video is repeatable tasks that you're doing daily that's annoying. Maybe you do it multiple times a week. And for me, something I have to do every single day is set up a daily brief for myself. I have to go through, write everything that's on my list. What am I missing? Who do I need to reply to? Who's waiting on a message from me? And that is where the scheduled tasks come in. So there's some really cool features here. When you go to the scheduled task, right now, the only one I'm running is the daily briefing. But if you click new task, I mean, it's really quite simple. And I'm going to go through some best practices here shortly. But you just name the task that you want it to do. Maybe it's search Slack every hour, or search your email every day, or whatever it might be. You want to just give a brief description of it, but then the prompt is where the magic happens. If you nail this prompt, the output is going to be really good. If you don't nail the prompt, it's not going to work. You can do it for, you can have it run manually. So you can create a task and you can initiate when it runs. You can have it run hourly. You can have it run daily. You can have it run weekdays, weekly, whatever your optimal preference are. And you can select folders inside of your computer to work in. You can choose the default model. I always go with Opus, but that's totally your choice. And so for me, where I'm really using this is my daily briefing. So I want to take you into this. You can see it's running every single day. A couple of days it's skipped. It doesn't run if the app is not open on your computer. It has to be open in order for it to actually run. Very simple, daily briefing. Excuse me. Update me on everything needed for a great day of productivity. But that's not enough. The magic happens with the system prompt. So my business is called Integri. I integrate AI into businesses. And the prompt, you're my chief of staff at Integri, a boutique AI automation consultancy. It's really not automation. It's really just more so building custom AI software. That's not relevant. But anyways, scan all my channels and give me a briefing I can act on in under 5 minutes. Check the last 24 hours across these channels, because these are the ones I'm active in. Notion's another one that I use a ton. And I put Google Calendar here, but to be honest with you, I don't really use Google Calendar. I actually use Notion Calendar. But regardless, you can put in whatever your tools are that you use. I give it context on my business. This is important. Cowork does not share context with Claude Chat. Hopefully they update that, and it will. But you have to assume that it doesn't know anything about you. So I just basically put in, here's what I'm doing. Here's some of my clients. Here's my side projects. And that way it has some context about me. I have different deals that I am working through at any given time. Just once again, it's updated context. But really where it gets good is the output structure. So the briefing has 2 layers. Layer 1 is the dashboard. It must fit in under 20 lines. If you don't constrain AI, then it's not going to give you very good output. So you must constrain it and have it work within a set of boundaries. But layer 2 is the detail. I scroll into it only when I need to act on something. So layer 1 with the dashboard, a pipeline snapshot, a table of active deals and retainers, 1 row per deal, no descriptions, just status. Client status value, this is the structure that I wanted in. And if nothing changed on a deal within 24 hours, right, no movement. But how about today at a glance? Calendar. List my meetings and what time. Update me on anything that's waiting on me. Messages needing a response. Emails, Slack messages. And what are new opportunities? Is there something in Upwork? Is there a lead that came in through email? What are my priorities? So I have it rank my priorities. 1, 2, 3, why it's due today, and the time estimate that it's going to take. Now, something else is the detail. Because it's obviously we have the dashboard, we have the overview, but what about the actual detail layer? Well, this is really where the value is, in my opinion. So what are the messages that need response? Group it by client and prospect first, then team, and then other. So if it doesn't fit into any of these categories, let's put it into the other category. For any new inbound leads or warm intros from the past 24 hours, source and context, fit assessment, are they a strong assessment, weak assessment, recommended next steps, draft the outreach. I mean, this is like literally my chief of staff. This is what a chief of staff would do. Commitments. Did I make any promises, deadlines, deliverables committed to yesterday that needs to get done today? If so, what was the commitment? Who was the commitment to? And what was the deadline? If none, you can skip this entirely. I have my formatting rules, which I highly recommend that you do this. And then this is actually not relevant. I shouldn't have added this. And this is another thing. You got to check your prompts to make sure that everything's relevant. Run this daily. I can do more options. Obviously, I'm using Opus, and we're just going to save it here. So what it's going to do is every single day, it's going to run, and it's going to basically give me an update for what it is that I'm looking at. This has been such a game changer for me because I no longer have to scramble every single day. Oh my gosh, who is that person I was talking to yesterday? What's that deliverable I have for that client today? It's all here. It's in a plain markdown text. I can download the file if I want to, put it into Claude and chat with it about it. It's basically creating my to-do list every single day, and it's just incredibly powerful. And so that's a brief overview of Cowork. Now, I have other videos going much deeper if you want to get into the weeds with it and really try to master it. But for those of you just getting started, hopefully this video was helpful. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, be sure to do so. It's all about technology for people that are not engineers, and I will see you guys in the next video.